here in a Fox Business exclusive is the man who has meant business in China. He can size up the candidates on all things China, former U.S. ambassador to China and former Utah Governor John Huntsman.
Thank you, Liz.
A lot of strong statements there, certainly, but let's start tackling the TPP, the trade deal, which does not include China, and China actually dislikes it because their competitors get to participate in a greater block of trade. So what should these candidates know about it? Should they have read it and know which countries are in it?
Well, that's always a good thing because there's a lot of good information floating around TPP. I mean, trade is a fairly arcane subject matter to begin with. So as a former trade negotiator, I can tell you that it'll come together in pieces, and any trade negotiation at the beginning is a train wreck. I mean, it's a mess, and then you've got to get all the capitals, in the case of TPP, all 12 capitals, to go back to their respective legislatures or parliaments and agree to the content. Same thing that we're doing in the United States. And then sometime next year, the version beyond where we are today is going to come together, and then it will be an up or down vote.
Well, the tone from everybody was China devil, U.S. angel, or what have you. But is China the devil that it is made out to be? You've been there on the ground. You speak Mandarin. You have dealt with these people and negotiated with them. What should our relationship be? Well,
I have for 35 years, and I was part of managing the relationship before I was in the presidential campaign, and it was surreal, Liz, going from managing the relationship to the presidential debate stage, where the pandering, of course, is the most prominent feature of the U.S.-China relationship. And it's not going to be any different than that. You're not going to get a candidate who's going to talk about what to do with China. The talk is going to be about what to do to China. That gets good applause lines. You come across as tough, and I wouldn't advise any candidate to do anything but that at this point. But somewhere along the line, you're going to have to instruct the American people on the most important relationship of the 21st century. And it's going to have to go beyond just sound bites and rhetoric to how we're going to actually engage them economically and in terms of regional security and third world conflict resolution.
Well, I agree with you, except that we have actual data from cybersecurity firms that show that some of the cyber hacking comes directly from Chinese government buildings.
No question about it.
So that, how do you square with that?
I chaired an IP theft commission a couple of years ago with Admiral Denny Blair, and we concluded that China's 70% of the problem. It's $300 billion in cost per year. There's an answer, and nobody's talking about it. And that's where you'd like to see this debate go. Go from the sound bites to the fixes and how we can come up with policy solutions to deal with it. Our market is the most important thing to China. You begin blocking access to the market. You use certain provisions of the trade law on their imported goods when they have any kind of tie to ripping off our intellectual property. That's an attention getter.
Then they will break versus bend.
That's right. And I'd go back on TPP. I would say the Chinese fear TPP because it brings us together with so many of the major trading partners of the Asia-Pacific region. And the one thing China respects is economic strength. And what a TPP arrangement does with 40% of the world's GDP is it bolsters our ability with renewed standards, lowering barriers to trade more and invest more with a lot of the countries they would like to be doing it with.
You would have made a great president. We've skied together, actually. Our families.
Short term, let's get the market moving again, shall we?
How about that? Down 37 points, but you're up. It's great to have you.
So nice to be with you.
Governor John Huntsman, former ambassador to China. It's a pleasure to have you.
Thank you.
Please come back.